Hi everyone, I'm Tashina from Logical Harmony. Welcome back. Today's video is going to be a full face of products from Tarte. I'm really excited about this because they've come out with so many new products recently and there are so many old classics from Tarte. As always, everything in this video is cruelty-free and vegan. If you want to learn more about vegan beauty or cruelty-free beauty, just head over to my website, logicalharmony.net. Or you're in the right channel for that. I have tons of videos. All my videos are about cruelty-free. So let's get right into it because this might be a little long. So I used a ton of different products from Tarte, from Awake, and from Sugar Rush, which is their new line. So Tarte is cruelty-free, Awake is cruelty-free and vegan, and Sugar Rush is cruelty-free and vegan as well. I have a full list of Tarte vegan products on logicalharmony.net. I'll link to that down below for you guys. Tarte did send me a lot of the products that are in this video, and thank you so much to them for doing so. And then there were a lot that I had previously purchased. There were also some products that I didn't have from Tarte, either that I just don't have the vegan option of, and I didn't think to buy. So those I subbed in for something else, and that's a good reminder to me to pick up the vegan version. Real quick too, I'm not sure if it still works, but I did have an affiliate code for Awake Beauty. I'll check if that works. If it does, I'll link to it down below. When you guys use the affiliate codes and the affiliate links, I really appreciate it. It helps keep Logical Harmony running so we can keep putting out content, and thank you so much to those of you that do. So the first product that I used was Tarte's Drink of H2O Hydrating Boost. So I completely skipped most of my skincare this morning. I washed my face, but I wanted to show this Tarte skincare that I've been loving lately. This stuff is amazing. I had a trial size and I went through it so quickly, and I asked them to send me a new one because it's really good. I find it makes a huge difference in how hydrated my skin is. It reminds me of like an overnight mask, and I can wear it at night, I can wear it during the day. I haven't had any issues with this disrupting any foundation or concealer. It seems to play nice with everything else. And when my skin is super dry, I layer this with the Osea hyaluronic acid drops, and it's like a gorgeous combination for your skin, or even this with the Lush Solid Serums, amazing at night. But I put this on to really hydrate my skin. We're in a new climate now and my skin's been having a lot of issues, so that was good. I followed that up with the Awake Hydra Shot Antioxidant Concentrate. This is kind of like an essence for the skin, so you want to make sure that you shake it and then you just press it into the skin. I have their antioxidant one as well. I like both of them a lot, but this one right now is what my skin needs. It's really lightweight. Next, I followed that up with the Awake Dream Drops Shimmer Serum. This is a serum with hyaluronic acid in it, and it does have some shimmer on its own, so it really helps to bring some glow back into your skin. And I just like to take a couple drops and press that in all over my face. And I don't know about you guys, but I see a huge difference in my skin after I apply this. It looks so much more glowy, and it really helps to keep it moisturized throughout the day as well. Next, I follow up with Ray of Bright from Awake, which is a moisturizer. This also has a little bit of a sheen to it as well, which looks so pretty on the skin. I feel like if you wanted to do just like a no makeup look and you just wanted nice skin, you can kind of stop there and your skin's gonna be so glowy and dewy from these products. I've been using this for a really long time. They just sent me a new one because I'm almost out. It's so good, and it doesn't disrupt wear with any makeup that I've used it with. It's just a really nice everyday moisturizer, and I feel like it works with every skin type too. Now you gotta make sure that you get your SPF in, and I use the Hello Sunshine Moisturizer from Awake, which has an SPF 30 in it. What I like about this is that it is thick like a sunscreen, but it absorbs very quickly and it's not greasy. I haven't had any issues with it disrupting wear with foundation. I've tried it a couple times with different things. It's really nice. It's just an easy way to get your SPF in, and SPF is so important to use every day. And so I always like suggesting products that you can use under makeup that work well. Stuff's good. So I highly suggest this. For foundation, this was like the big first impressions of the video, is the new Foundcealer from Tarte. They just launched this and I really wanted to try it because I just heard a lot of different things about it. And you guys know me, whenever there's a new foundation that's cruelty-free and vegan, I need to get my hands on it. I love foundation. Foundation is like one of my favorite products to experiment with because some of it works so well for me and some of it just, No, does not work well at all. So this one is also an SPF 20, which I liked. It has a solid shade range, and I think it's more of like a gentle foundation, like a more hydrating one. I've seen on Tarte's Instagram story them just use this all over their face and skip concealer. I find that it does have pretty good coverage. So I did it on one side of my face with my beauty sponge from Ofra, and then on the other side with the foundation brush from EcoTools. I found that it applied much better with the sponge. The finish was better, and it seemed to have better coverage. So I went ahead and just finished the rest of my face with the sponge. I did add a little bit more foundation. So I think overall I used like 2.5 pumps total on my face, which isn't bad. It does not claim to be a full coverage foundation. And I really wanted to build up the coverage. That's one thing I love trying with foundations that are thinner coverage, is building it up to see how it layers, because some of them don't layer that well. This one did. It has a really nice natural finish, which I love, especially having dry skin. And then combined with my skincare prep, I feel like my skin was already so glowy and so dewy, and it just looked really nice. Like it was like my skin, but better. I don't know. I was really, really into it. Today I used the shade 27N Light Medium Neutral, and I felt like that was a good match. They do have different undertones with this as well. So they have neutrals, cools, and warms, and I find that really, really nice because you can really find the shade that's going to work best for you. And if you aren't sure what shade you are, this one is currently at Sephora, so go in, get a sample. I think that's like the best way to try foundations from there, because I do find Tarte foundations a little bit trickier for me to shade match than most others, and I'm not sure why that is. A lot of foundations I can just like pick one shade, I'm like, yes, that's it. I know from looking at like the tiles on the website, and it works. With Tarte, I have a much harder time doing that, and I'm not really sure why. So if you do as well, definitely go get a sample. If you have dry skin, I think you're gonna love this. If you only need medium coverage, I think you're gonna love this. I am gonna see how it wears throughout the day, so comment below and let me know if you want like a full review video on this, because this is just my first impressions. I haven't used it before, so let me know if you guys would be interested in that. I do also have their other new foundation, so let me know if you want a full first impressions and or review on that as well. And I might post some thoughts on my Instagram as well. So if you guys aren't following me there, make sure you follow me, Logical Harmony, on Instagram. For concealer, I used the classic Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand. This is a really nice concealer. As someone with dry skin, I honestly do kind of struggle with it on my face because it does seem to be a little bit drying. I don't even think drying is the right word. It does kind of just like settle on some of my dry spots, but for under my eyes, it's great. And honestly, I found that with this skincare prep and this foundation, there was enough moisture in those products to balance this out, and it didn't go on dry like it normally does. So I really liked this combination. This concealer is really, really good. It's very full coverage, and that's one thing I like. You just need the tiniest amount. And I honestly sometimes will put on like my full skincare prep and dot this around my face and just brush it out just to give it a little more coverage, and use that instead of like a tinted moisturizer. So if you need some extra coverage and you want a tinted moisturizer, that's a good like hack you can do. I don't know, there's not a lot to say about Shape Tape because everyone has said everything that needs to be said about it. For powder today, I used the Make It Last setting powder from Milani in the shade Translucent Light to Medium. Tarte does make vegan setting powders, but I just don't have one. I thought I did, but I think I must have gotten rid of it a while ago, just because it was older. And so I need to repurchase that. But this is really nice with this foundation. I feel like it just mattified it slightly, but it still has a nice glow to it. The foundation had so much on its own. To contour, I used the Double Duty Beauty contour palette from Tarte. This is a pretty nice one. I will say, I wish the contour shade was darker. So this is the only contour palette from Tarte that's vegan. They have a couple others that aren't vegan, and those have a better shade range than this one. I just wish this was darker because I feel like it didn't really show up too well on my skin. Like at first, I don't know. I'm on the fence. It's good if you want like a natural contour, or if you have fair skin, it's gonna work great for you. But for me, I wish it was a little bit darker because I think it would just work for more people that way. And I am glad that since launching this, they did launch other contour palettes with more shades in them. I think that's good. For blush, I use the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. Tarte does have a couple of vegan blush palettes. I just don't have them. One was super limited edition, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't buy it because now it's gone, and it had a bunch of different shades. And then the other one is like a little book, and it has like strip blushes in it that are vegan. But this is a nice one. Again, glowy and dewy. That's kind of the look I was going for today. It laid well with the foundation. I don't know, not much else to say. For bronzer, I used Ticket to Brazil from Wet n Wild. Okay guys, real quick, I have to interrupt this video because since this was filmed, I need to let you know that Wet n Wild is no longer Logical Harmony approved, and they no longer meet the Logical Harmony standards of being cruelty-free. They are currently selling in physical stores in mainland China, where they're subject to post-market animal testing. I thought it was important to mention this video. Initially I wanted to just cut the product out and just not mention it, but I feel like a lot of you guys probably still aren't aware of that, so I thought it was important to pop in here and mention it. I do have a blog post on Logical Harmony that goes super in depth into what's going on with them and why I no longer consider them to be cruelty-free. I'll link to that down below as well as up above. And just enjoy the video. Sub in a different bronzer. There are lots of good options. I'll link some of those down below too. Tarte does have vegan bronzers. I just do not have one, so I need to pick one of those up. And I thought this was fine. It's nice. It's a good neutral everyday shade. And then for highlight, I did use the highlight in that contour palette again, which I think is really pretty. I was surprised at how pigmented it was because in the pan, it looks very glowy, but I wasn't expecting as much pigment as I got. And I'm really happy with it because I think it still looks really nice and natural. It's not like a bam in your face highlight, but you can definitely build it up. And I feel like it just settles really well with this foundation. I'm really impressed with this foundation so far, you guys. For brows, I used my Hourglass Arch Sculpting Brow Gel in clear and my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo. Not a whole lot to say there, just did a quick job with my brows. I just wanted to fill them in, give them a little more shape, a little fluffiness, a little more life. Now for eyeshadows, I did use the Sugar Rush by Tarte palette, and this one is, I forget which one this is. They have two different ones. This is the one with the sunglasses on it. So this one is mostly neutrals. You have 4 mattes in here and 4 shimmers. I used some of the mattes and some of the shimmers. The mattes I was really impressed with. I feel like matte shades tend to be a little like lackluster from a lot of brands. They don't necessarily blend out as well, or they don't have as good of pigment. It's a lot harder to get matte shades right. And I feel like these were really nice. They had a good amount of pigment. They blended out really well. They applied smoothly. And I feel like they blended really, really evenly. I do like the shades in here too. I'm not sure how well they would work if you have a dark complexion. I'm just not sure. This might be a palette that, you know, might be like light neutrals for you. I used the shades Spring Break and Pool Hop, and I really liked both of them. This one, Pool Hop, was a little more red than I was expecting, which I'm happy with because I love warm shadows, but just a note for you guys. And then for shimmers, I used Festival, Summer Love, a little bit of Stunna, and a little bit of Pool Party because I couldn't resist dipping in there. I felt like these two were really, really nice. These ones I used a smaller brush with because I wanted to put them on my lash line, and I felt like with the small brush, it did not work quite as well as I had hoped. I feel like you can't really see that I put them on. So that's something that's good to know. I would definitely use like a better brush, like a smudging brush. I use one I would use like on my inner corner to highlight with those. Just wasn't the right brush for it. I do feel like these are a little more of like a chunky kind of glittery eyeshadow versus like a pure shimmer or like a foiled shadow. I do think they would probably work really, really nicely on a wet brush. They worked nicely as is anyway, but I think some of them, you'd get like a little more payoff if you used a wet brush. But I liked it overall, and honestly, for the whole Sugar Rush line being vegan and at such a good price point, I really cannot knock this. I think this is an amazing palette to have because you do have a lot of good neutral shades. You have the mattes, you have the shimmers. It's a really good palette to have in your collection because it's like a good everyday palette with a pop of color. And I don't know, I just feel like that's kind of hard to find in a vegan version. There are so many matte neutral palettes, but there aren't that many that kind of cover the mattes and the shimmers. I don't know, I like it and I'm really happy with it, especially for the price point. I definitely want to try more from Sugar Rush. For eyeliner, I just used the Awake Beauty Eye Opener on my waterline. This is like a nude liner that helps you look more awake. It just opens up your eyes a little bit more. It was very, very creamy, which was nice. And I feel like it applied smoothly. It definitely makes my eyes look more awake. They look brighter, they look bigger. I'm happy with it. We'll see how it wears throughout the day. I know Tarte has one like this that they've had out for a while. I haven't used that one, so I'm not sure if they're the same or if they're super similar, but I've heard really, really good things about the Tarte one, so I have high hopes for this guy. I did skip a regular eyeliner today, and I just went in with the Tarte Tartist Mascara. This is the second tube that I've used from them, and this was a brand new tube of it, and it was very different than the one before. The one I had before was really watery and really really difficult to work with. It was just a very, very thin formula that was hard to build up. This one almost seemed like it was dried out, and I don't know if that's the case. It doesn't smell off. It was brand new. It just seemed to take a while to build up, and I feel like it does a great job of grabbing every lash. Like the wand is amazing. It grabs every lash, it separates them, but I feel like I didn't get much length or volume. I just got more definition than anything else, which is fine, but I might layer another mascara on top of it. I do think though that because of that, this might be a great mascara to use with falsies for your coat of mascara under them, because I think it's just gonna grab all your lashes. And I'm happy with it. Like it looks good, especially for an everyday look. It's just not as dramatic as I wanted, but maybe I've also been wearing false lashes. Maybe I've also been wearing false lashes too much lately and I've gotten used to those, so I don't know. Yeah, it's like not my favorite mascara, but it's not the worst. I want to try more from them. I haven't tried I haven't used Lights Camera Lashes, there we go, in a while, so maybe I'll try that one next. I definitely want to try more from Tarte, so even the products that I feel like didn't perform like I wanted them to made me want to try more from them. Like, oh, what's this other one like? Because I do think it's great that Tarte has so many vegan options, and it seems like every release they're adding more, which is amazing. For my lips, I used the shade Salt Life from, I don't remember exactly which lip line this is. I think it's the Rainforest of the Sea. I had seen this on Instagram and it was so trendy for a little bit, so I was like, I need that, because I do have some other shades from that line and I love the formula. The formula is good. It's like a natural finish. It's a little bit matte, it's a little bit dewy, but it's not like your normal average lipstick, if that makes sense, and it's really moisturizing. So I wanted to pick that up, and it's pretty. They sent this one to me and I'm really happy with it. It's like a different tone than what I normally would have picked for myself, but I'm glad that I tried it because I actually like it. I think it looks good. A lot of cool tones don't work for me at all, and I feel like this one actually does. And the lipstick line is good, so it just makes me want to buy more shades in this. So if you guys have used any of these products, comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your favorite products from Tarte, because I want to try more now. I feel like I owe it to them to try more. And their skincare is so good. Like if you have not used anything from Tarte, their skincare is amazing. Their complexion products are really good. I'm excited to see what they have in store in the future. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.